Hello everyone. This video walks you through a beginning example of harmonizing a melody. So the first step in harmonizing a melody is giving each soprano note either a 1 or a 5, while harmonizing each soprano note with either a 1 or a 5. So why don't we do that first? So this would be a 1. Since it's the third scale degree and a 1 chord has the first, third, and fifth scale degree, so that's something that's unique to the 1 and it's not in the 5. Then this is a fourth scale degree. Now normally I could say that would be a 5-7, except in this case the fourth scale degree would be the 7 and the 7 doesn't resolve down. So I'm going to have to wait on picking whatever chord that one is. And this is a fifth scale degree, so that means I'm going to give it a 5. And then this is another fifth scale degree, so I'm going to go to 5. I'm also going to give it a 7 because of this fourth scale degree right here. Then this is another third scale degree, so again I'm going to give it a 1. Then this is the first scale degree, so I'm going to give it a 1. Then this is the second scale degree, so I'm going to give it a 5 as the 5 chord has the 5th, 7th, and 2nd scale degrees. Then this is a third scale degree, so I'm going to give it a 1. And this is a second, so I'm going to give it a 5, and this is a 1, so I'm going to give it a 1. So now let's look at the chord that we couldn't add 1 or 5 to. So it's right before a dominant, so that would lead me to believe that it's some kind of predominant chord. Now, why don't we pick 2 and see how that turns out. So now the next part of the puzzle is to write in the bass line. So right now all of our chords are in root position, so I'm just gonna write out the bass line as root position, as the roots of each chord. So this is the 1, this is the 2, this is the 5, this is the 5, this is the 1, this is the 1, this is the 5, this is the 1, 5, 1. Okay, so clearly 1, 2 isn't quite normal. Now we're in the adding spice stage. So normally what's seen is a 1, 6. So let's go to what that would be. That would be a D. But now we have parallel octaves here. And we could change the bass notes, I suppose, but I'm more inclined to instead change the chord. So our other predominant choice is a 4. Now, again, if we just keep it in root position, we run into the same problem. So I'm going to make it a 4-6. Then this will make the bass note the 6th scale degree, as the 4 chord is made up of the 4th, 6th, and 1st scale degree. Or for those of you in movable do, it's made up of fa, la, and do. So we're going to put la on the bass. Now, this part of the bass line looks good. Now, we come to here, and this is fine, except we suddenly have a lot of 5th scale degrees, 1 scale degrees, so like root position 5 to 1s, 5 to 1s, 5 to 1s. And we've kind of set it up that way, but let's add, again, a little bit of spice. So instead of a 1, what would happen if we made this a 6? Well, it would just be more of a deceptive resolution than a normal one. Now you don't really need to put another 6 there, it's just kind of repeating what's already there. So if we're going to do that, let's make the bass line follow in accordance to that. So since it's a 6 chord, that means that the bass line should be the 6th scale degree, and that would be an F sharp and A major. And we can use a half note here just because the harmony doesn't change, so the bass line may as well not change either. Now here we still have a lot of 5-1, 5-1, so we need to change this somehow to make it a little bit better. Now it's normally good to end with, you know, a 5-1 or so do, but you don't really want to precede it with another one of those. So we need to somehow change the inversions of these chords to make it more interesting. Now we could change the 1. We could change it to a 6/4. Which is possible. It'd be what's called known as a pedal 6/4, as the same bass note is staying there. Or we could make it first inversion. However, that's not really better than what we had before. Or we could keep that inversion the same and change this inversion. So we could make this either a first inversion chord, have the bass line do this, or we could make it a second inversion chord and have the bass line do this. Now, this one in particular sets off something in my counterpoint brain, as we're jumping into an octave at and then the sopranos are moving in the same way. Now, I suppose because the sopranos are moving by step, it may not matter as much, but that just doesn't feel right to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to instead make the inversion of this 5-chord 6 to give stepwise motion to the bass. And then I'm going to end with a 5, 1. So now let's check for parallel octaves and parallel fifths and how they were entered into. This is very much like what you would do for chorale harmonization, except you would have 4 different voices to check instead of just 2. So this isn't a fifth, this isn't a fifth, this is an octave, and it's entered by contrary motion by step, so that's good. This is another octave, and there was an octave before it, but it's not moving, so it doesn't really count against us. Then we have a fifth, which is fine because it was entered by contrary motion. And then we have a third here, and that's fine. Another third, and then we have another fifth, which is entered while in similar motion. It's alright because the soprano is moving by step. And then we have an octave, and that's fine because it was entered by contrary motion. So this is looking like it's going to be good. Now, you would write your Roman numerals down here. It's just I was writing them by the soprano line earlier. But let's hear what we have. Cool. So that sounds good. So again, on the test, you don't have that luxury of hearing what you have written, but if it helps, you may try that as a way to help practice it. But again, look through it without hearing it first for errors. Alright, that's a practice problem. If you would like, you can check out an AP level problem. Alright, see you guys later.